Welcome to the franchise. It's your boy, Daniel Ehrenberg, sitting here on the ones and the twos. Mannequin 1 and Mannequin 2, to be exact. And let's bring in our co-host, HP.
Hello, everybody. It's Hanky Paps on the GSP, not far from the gambling anti-mecca of the world. And we have a special guest this week. Returning guest. What is it, our second returning guest?
We've had a few, I think. But you might recall this guest from our classic Austin Powers International Man of Mystery episode.
Yes. Welcome, Christian Toto.
I thought I had kind of screwed myself with that pick, but thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Of course. No, you were not the problem with that episode.
No, I believe he is the second person to come back. I believe Aaron Frittinelli is the only recurring guest.
Jan Martino. Last
correct.
week, you fucking idiot.
Well done. I'm on top of the game today.
Yeah.
All right. So this is episode 76.
Yeah, we got Christian Toto from HollywoodandToto.com, the Hollywood and Toto podcast. Interviewed one of my favorite podcasters this week, Joe Reed.
Ken Reed.
I'm doing great this week, too.
One of his favorites.
Yeah, huge fan.
Yeah, that dude is smart. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I thought I knew pop culture. This guy knows it cold. Really good.
Knows his stuff. The TV Guidance Counselor podcast. Also a frequent guest on Doug Benson's Doug Loves Movies. That's where I first came across him. But he's not on our show. Christian Toto is. And we're covering Mannequin and Mannequin 2 on the move. Now, Christian, I have to ask, why these movies? These were your choices.
Was it S&M? I like pain and suffering. I think I was curious about it. I really like revisiting 80s movies. It kind of opens up it's the nostalgia train for me for sure. But also why do these movies still resonate? Why do we still care? And I think I just love
Do we still care?
I mean, every other thing is like Stranger Things and the Goldbergs, and everything is reflecting back on the 80s.
That's true.
There's no 90s nostalgia. That hasn't hit yet.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah, but it's not a wave. It's not a tidal wave yet. There's no wedding singer for the 90s, I don't think.
That's true. That'll happen, right? Who's it going to be? Rogan? Rogan will do it. I'll tell you what. Mannequin, these are movies I've seen a whole bunch, but
Really?
I was not able to place them as entire movies in my head. They're just the type of movies that were on all the time when I was a kid on whatever it was, Comedy Central or, the Family Channel or something. Not that they should have been. These movies are disgusting. There were parts of these movies I remembered. Hollywood was probably a character I liked as a kid because he's sort of the real attempt at a breakout character. He's the Urkel or something.
Yeah. I had never seen Mannequin 2, not a single second.
Mannequin 2 on the move, Henry. We like full titles on this show.
Yeah. Mannequin, I do remember being a big deal when I was a kid. I think like Dan, I remember Hollywood being a goofy character, and I have to say I mainly remember being kind of hopelessly in love with Kim Cattrall. And,
same here. That montage where she's like in different outfits. I mean, my God, I think it pushed me past puberty.
Yeah. and this was for her. This was fresh off the movie where I did what was already in love with her, which was Big Trouble in Little China. So she had kind of two back-to-back hits.
Well, three, right? Wasn't there she was in a big movie in the early, 82 or something, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know that till I did this show. I don't know that movie. Did Chris, did you know that?
No, I knew the Big Trouble connection. Also, she was older than Andrew McCarthy. She was about 30, and he was maybe in his early 20s.
Yeah, he was 20. He was 24, and she was 30.
Yeah.
Sexy, even sexier.
Yeah.
Cattrall, you all know her, of course, as the fourth most attractive Sex in the Cityer.
Wait, I think she's fifth. I think I just double check.
Who's
on that.
four?
I don't know. Anyone.
Who sneaks in?
Excuse me.
Willie Garson?
She's the second most attractive. Okay, what are you talking about?
Who do you have number one? Kristen Davis?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then Kim Cattrall, and then that's it.
No, I'm a Cynthia Nixoner.
Really?
Oh, baby. Yeah. give me that Miranda.
To each his own.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm of course a different age, a much younger, more vital age than the other two folks on this podcast.
Yeah,
so,
we've actually got about a decade each between us. I believe Chris, right? You're born in the late '60s, right?
Yeah. Can
Really?
you speak up? I'm having trouble. My ears aren't working like they used to. So.
Okay.
Yeah, late '60s, late '70s for me, mid to late '80s for Dan. Yeah.
You know, I have to say I really hate Dan because you know.
I do too. I do.
You know, no,
Oh,
you know all the.
you just mean in that. I'm sorry. I thought you meant in general.
I mean, I'm going to get specific here.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Dan knows all the pop culture shit, and I'm going to curse because I'd never curse on my podcast. that I know.
Dude,
And it
you're
took
on
me like,
HBO right now, Chris. You can say whatever you
That's
want.
right. I'm going to show my tits too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go all Delta Burke. No, but Dan, you know all the crap I took 49 years to accumulate, and you did it like in half the time. So I'm just annoyed at that.
That's right. I'm a special person. Listen, I put in the work, guys. I spent a childhood watching Mannequin 2 on the move. No, so Cattrall, like, I know her mainly from Sex and the City. I didn't connect her as, like, I knew she was maybe the most famous of the four when that show started, but I didn't super know anything about her. I knew Kristen Davis from an episode of Seinfeld, but yeah, Cattrall, like, the first thing I ever saw her in was as Samantha Jones, you know,
Wow.
Bone Zoning in every app.
Right.
But it's nice to see her here in Mannequin. She's miscast as an Egyptian woman, but
Wait, this is like whitewashing 101, I think.
yeah, it's pretty intense. Okay. Wait, let's do the stats, guys. Let's get right into Mannequin. Mannequin's directed by a fellow named Michael Gottlieb. I've seen 3 of this man's films now.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He does have an Alan Smithy entry, The Shrimp on the Barbie, which sounds great. But I've seen all his other films. Of course, Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan.
Didn't see it.
Famous for, in the background, you can see a guy throwing a dog into a river, and no one knows why.
Wow.
Yeah. Look out for it. And, of course, A Kid in King Arthur's Court, featuring Halloween Resurrection star Thomas Ian Nicholas as a Little League baseball player who goes back to King Arthur times.
I met him, by the way, at a Kennedy event in Washington D.C. My wife and I were at. Was it the Big Brothers or one of their? They have a charity they have each year, and we sat at the same table with Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Really? What was it during American Pie days?
It was like after that, so we still knew him a little bit. You know, today would have been like, "Hey, buddy, can you pass the salt?"
Sure. Back then, you were still like, "Hey, the Rookie of the Year." Was he nice?
He was very nice.
Okay.
Pass
Good.
the salt. Yeah.
He did, like that.
A Kid in King Arthur's Court, of course, continues the tradition of there never being a good King Arthur movie in the history of cinema. That's right.
And by the way, 2 notes on Gottlieb. One, R.I.P. He died in a motorcycle accident, of all things. And of course, the motorcycle figures prominently in his movie, Mannequin. And also his brother co-wrote or wrote Jaws, Carl Gottlieb.
I was going to get to that, but yeah.
Man, the director of Mannequin dying in a motorcycle accident is like the way lamer version of Paul Walker dying in a car crash.
Yeah, all right. Well, you're right. That's true. Carl Gottlieb. I'll cross that note off for Henry's special notes that Chris took.
Sorry.
All right. That's okay. That's gone.
Michael Gottlieb, he also co-wrote this movie along with his writing partner, Edward Rugoff, who also worked on Mr. Nanny and some other stuff that I've never heard of. So, not huge careers for either of these fellas.
Okay, when no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, please.
I was just going to say, I don't know how you guys watched these movies, but I was able to get Mannequin 2 on the move through Netflix DVD service. For the second time in 76 episodes, 79 if you count our bonus, I had to buy a movie to own.
You purchased Mannequin?
I am the proud owner of a DVD through Amazon for $4 plus $4 shipping and handling of Mannequin.
You're going to be jerking it to that montage?
I couldn't. What's that?
Will you be jerking it to that montage?
Yeah. I couldn't. I had purchased it. I couldn't stream it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I had the same thing. I actually couldn't find it anywhere. Amazon said it's not available in my area. And then I bought it through Fandango Now, but it wouldn't let me order it. It was very strange. So my local DVD shop, which is closing, had a double pack, Mannequin 2, and I had to buy that.
I had the same thing with Fandango Now. I had never heard of it. I tried to access it, couldn't do it.
Yep.
So I would like to say right now that whoever would like to, of our listeners, there is an autographed, signed by me copy of Mannequin ready to be mailed.
Oh, Henry, we should have a contest.
Yeah, it'll be signed by me, which is pretty big time, I think.
Not signed by me. I don't live close enough.
No, and I would have liked to have done it, but that's sort of even.
I'll mail you 3 CDs from my personal collection that I'll never listen to again.
I thought you were gonna say you'll scan your signature, mail it to me, and
no.
I'll shrink wrap it on.
I'll sign an Offspring album for you or something.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. But gang, as a millennial, of course, you could both films easily streamable on Putlocker, okay?
On what?
Putlocker.
I've seen
I know what that is.
It's one of the finest illegal streaming sites on the internet. One of my favorites.
I don't do that. Too afraid of the viruses it might get.
Oh, you're crazy. You can watch Thor Ragnarok on there right now.
Now, the last time I tried one of them things, I tried Paranormal Activity, and it fucked up my computer for like a month.
Do you have an Apple?
No.
Well, you there was your mistake. Don't blame Putlocker.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah. Anyway, so all right. So Dan had an easy time. Chris and me a little less so, but that's okay.
Mannequin was released Valentine's Day weekend, February 13th, 1987. Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day. That worked out real nice.
Yeah, I see what they did there.
Yeah. A budget of $7.9 million, a box office of 42.7.
Wow.
Big hit. Came in at number 27 at the box office.
Not too shabby.
Yep. Did slightly better than Steve Martin's Roxanne.
Oh, wow.
Another movie that's based on, that's based on Cyrano de Bergerac. Mannequin is sort of Pygmalion if you squint real hard. Yeah. And it was one notch below Wall Street.
Really?
There you go. This was nominated for an Oscar.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Hollywood Montrose, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Best offensive stereotype.
Leading into...
which one?
We'll get there. I don't want to forget this note. Leading into what you're talking about on what it was nominated for, as soon as I watched Mannequin 2 on the move, I had to go out, and as soon as I got in my car, turned on the radio, and that song by Starship came right on.
Yep.
No joke.
A little
No
wink
joke.
from God.
No joke. And after it was over, because obviously I blasted it. I did. I like it. When it was over, the DJ goes, "You are listening to 101.5. That was Starship, and that song was from what? Was it Mannequin? Woo! Bad movie, good song."
Oh, that's radio DJs. Can we kill that medium already? I am so
Still
done.
alive. Still alive.
All right, listen. Nominated for Best Song at the Oscars, lost to previous franchise, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
I've had the time of my life, of course.
Which is the better song, guys?
I've had the time of my life.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
It also works better with the movie too.
Yeah, I agree.
Does
but
it? I had problems with the
I
use
do
of that
like this
song
song.
in Dirty Dancing because Dirty Dancing takes place in the 60s, and that song has, 80s drum fills in it.
Right. It's great, though. Oh, you're right. But no, I like this. I like both. Yeah.
Starship, of course, the unholy remnants of Jefferson Airplane.
The 15th incarnation of that band.
Yeah. And this
Not-
wasn't even written by them, right? Diane
No.
Warren.
Our ballad extraordinaris.
Yeah. She also wrote I Don't Want to Miss a Thing for Aerosmith.
That is that's too bad. That's a blemish.
It's great. That's a great song.
That is a horrific song.
All right. Hey, 1987 list. Do you want to do that?
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
We have our guest, and I think when we had him on last time, we had you, Chris. We weren't doing this, so this will be very nice. Be
This
very
took some work.
nice.
Oh,
all right.
I know what your favorite movie of all time is.
Don't say it. Don't spoil it.
You've
All right.
tweeted about this.
Oh, I do too then. All right, fine. But the listeners don't. So, okay.
Here's a hint. It's not Mannequin.
All right, so as our guest of honor, we'll start at number 10, Chris, and you go.
All right. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Gets better every time.
Oh.
I agree.
Which
Too
part
low,
do you like the
I-
best? The planes, the trains, or the automobiles?
The scene where they're spinning in the car and John Candy looks like the devil.
No, automobiles. Okay.
Sorry.
I'd have to say planes in that. The plane ride, yeah. But anyway. Okay, you want me to go next, Dan?
Yes.
All right, number 10, Lethal Weapon.
My favorite Christmas movie, gang. That's right. I said I was gonna do it last year because I hate these assholes that say Die Hard's a great Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie. If Die Hard's a Christmas movie, so is Lethal Weapon. So that's all I'm doing this year. You're gonna hear that a lot on this fucking podcast. Lethal Weapon, best Christmas movie.
I like it.
I concur.
I'm actually down with that, so in a real way. So,
Thank you.
All right. Number 9, Chris.
I never said my number 10, Henry.
No, you didn't. You did not. Go ahead.
My number 10 is Evil Dead 2.
Ooh, good one.
Dead by Dawn?
Yes, in some circles.
Full title. All right.
Right.
Number 9, Chris.
The Princess Bride.
A film that heavily influenced Mannequin 2 on the move.
A movie that falls into that category that all of us have, I'm sure, which is a movie I never got on board with and never understood the hype. But that's just me.
But what about me, Rob Reiner?
Yeah. He's on my shit list right now anyway. You know.
Henry, someone chainsawing in your garage right now?
Yeah, because it's November 18th and we still need to mow the fucking lawns. So there's some asshole outside. Yeah.
Okay. Mine, number 9. Wait, what's yours,
look.
Henry?
My number 9 is Angel Heart.
My number 9 is David Mamet's House of Games.
Oh, what a great choice.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with my number 8 is The Untouchables.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you can have it.
Love it. Love it. My number 8 is Raising Arizona.
Too low. My number 8 is Wall Street.
Too low.
Man, this is an absolutely great year.
Great
Yeah,
year.
Everyone you guys have mentioned may not be on my list, but I should have put it on my list. So
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Agreed. Where are we now?
7.
number 7.
7 for Chris.
This movie I love. This movie gets no attention. This movie is great and gets greater every time I watch it. 3 O'Clock High.
Never saw it.
Oh.
I never saw it either.
Oh.
Isn't it
And
a
this is another
franchise?
No. They quasi remade it with Fist Fight earlier this year with Ice Cube.
Oh.
But it's-
Yeah.
I just
Don't
wrote
watch
it.
that.
I just wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out. 3 o'clock.
This is. I don't even know if you'll love it the first time, and maybe it's one of those movies you need to watch again. But it's so good.
All right.
Who's in it?
Casey Siemaszko. I think I'm butchering his last
Yeah,
name.
yeah. It's got a Z in there. I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's got a lot of words, a lot of letters. A lot of letters. So
My number 7 is The Untouchables.
Mine is Moonstruck.
Huh.
snap out of it.
Mm.
All right. Number 6, Chris.
Predator.
Nice. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I liked your episode on that, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you very much. I'm proud of that Predator
Yeah, that's
coverage.
one of my favorites.
hmm
My number 6 is Barfly.
Never saw it.
Crazy.
My number 6 is Predator as well.
Oswell.
As well.
Number 5, I've got RoboCop.
Ooh. Not on my list. Wow.
Can I just say, Christian and I are hanging hard right now because my number 5 is also RoboCop.
I'm gonna lose you at number 4, so trust me. Hang on.
Okay.
My number 5 is Fatal Attraction.
Mm.
Okay.
That's a movie.
Well, we know your number 5 is RoboCop as well, so I'll jump to
Yeah.
number 4. This is a movie that I don't own on Blu-ray to my shame. I think I've seen it once before, but it was combined with practical magic, so I couldn't own it. The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh.
That's a great movie. That must have been in consideration for my list. I'm a fan. I've watched that a lot. Henry,
I don't
who
think you
directed
gave
The Witches of Eastwick?
George Miller, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck, George Miller, the director of Happy Feet 2?
Yeah, he's got range like that.
Yeah.
Babe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pig in the City.
Number 4 for me is Predator.
My number 4 is Near Dark.
That one I am not on board. I know everyone loves that movie. I watched it again like a year or two ago. I'm just not there, but I know I'm in the distinct minority.
Oh, so that's your Princess Bride.
Could be.
That's right. All right, my number 3 is Broadcast News. Love that movie.
Wait, Dan, did you do 4?
Oh, Near Dark.
Dark,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, yeah. The numbers confuse me. Broadcast News, huh?
Yeah.
I never got into that film. Yeah.
Great
I'm
cast.
not a fan. I gotta say, when that was announced for the Criterion Collection, I thought they were slumming it. I don't know, man. It's a good sitcom. Like, I like Broadcast News in the way I like Wings, but
Wow.
Jesus
hurt.
Christ. Man. All right.
You just Thomas Hayden Church to me.
that's it. Nothing worse.
Number 3, 1987, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Ooh, very high. Cool.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Raising Arizona.
All right.
So good.
Number 2,
My number
Chris.
2 is, I suspect this one might be your number 1's, Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No spoilers.
Good
No
choice.
spoilers.
Good choice.
Mhm.
My number 2 is Wall Street.
So high. My number 2 is Woody Allen's Radio Days.
Yeah, one of my not favorite Woody Allen movies.
One of my all-timers. Love it.
Yeah. I like it very much. But
So you see, I do have affection for the medium of radio, but it's time to let it go.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. My number one for 87 and for all time is Raising Arizona. When I worked at a video store back in the 80s, yes, I'm dating myself, every Saturday night at 7:30, I put it on because that's when the mad rush came and people were crazy in and out. And I just love to have that yodeling in the background.
I love it. One of the movies I saw early, I saw that in the theater. I would have been about 9. I saw that in the theater. Yeah.
I was 1 year old.
I think a mature 9-year-old. I can't
Sure.
I can't picture too many 9-year-olds these days going to see a movie Raising Arizona.
I wonder because Raising Arizona's got that whole Looney Tunes theme. I wonder if you could.
Dark.
Yeah, but I wonder if like a kid would notice, or if they could just watch it as like a crazy romp.
I don't know. I think it fucked me up. But
Oh, okay.
the number one movie of 1987 is indeed Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah, me too. You know.
Oh,
great.
look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Kubrick. Yeah, that is one hell of a year. Almost every movie both of you mentioned could have been on my list.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, same here except The Untouchables.
All right.
And broadcast news. Okay, we open in Edfu, Egypt. A really long time ago, right before lunch.
Which threw me off.
I'm laughing
because
already.
It threw me off because I didn't remember anything about this movie. So when they did that, I was like, oh, that might be kind of funny. Like, it wasn't immediately stupid to me. It was kind of like, oh, it knows what it is. That's kind of funny. And,
No, that's incredibly stupid. What are you talking about?
It was incredibly stupid, but I thought it might pull off kind of a goofiness, spoofy thing, Spaceballs type of thing.
Yeah, well, History of the World Part 1, more like, but yeah.
Yeah, but right, but I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but then we got one of Dan's favorite things.
That's right, one of my favorite tropes, and one of the many reasons I love 80s comedies, animated credits.
Yeah.
Bad animated credits, by the way.
I thought of you immediately. I was like, well, he's in at least for the credits.
I love the credits, but I will say, Christian, you're right. They suck compared to Weekend at Bernie's too. First of all, we should be getting the characters. Like the credits are just like mannequins and random people and a lady walking like an Egyptian, and I don't know. Man, walking like an Egyptian, that really entered into the lexicon quick, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bangles.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because she's dancing like that in this movie. But, yeah, I mean, whatever. They were animated credits. I didn't love them, but when we got to Mannequin 2, I missed them.
Yeah, and so what's going on there? So Kim Cattrall's betrothed to somebody she doesn't like, so she prays to the gods to make her get out of it, and the gods answer her prayer, and she disappears into thin air.
And it turns out she's a mannequin, but, like, I guess she wakes up at different points in history, because she said she was, like, broing out with, like, Michelangelo or something.
Right. We're not really given that information until pretty late in the movie. So she's clearly been awakened and lived some lives prior to this.
So she knows what's up.
Yeah. I mean, we've had mannequins throughout history. I mean, they date back to the origins of man's. Oh, wait.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Any reason this movie took place in Philadelphia?
Tax breaks?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. The sequel is in Philadelphia too.
Right.
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind. Nothing obvious. So it probably wasn't a mundane reason.
I have an answer. Guys.
What's that?
Michael Gottlieb. That's a early pen name for M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, this is a shared universe then, right?
Oh.
That's right. Yeah.
Now Split makes even more sense.
Did you know that Hollywood grows up to be Mr. Glass?
I did not. That makes total sense now. Okay. No wonder he's so damaged.
So we're introduced to a real artist here, Andrew McCarthy. His dream is to be a sculptor. And we see him go through a series of jobs where he's trying to incorporate his art and getting fired.
And each one is less funny than the next.
What were some of them? They're escaping me.
I didn't even understand one of them. I didn't even understand the pizza one. That one confused me.
What are you
was taking
talking
too much
about?
time.
He was making the pizza into a work of art.
You don't get a shot of the pizza, so...
Yes, we
Me
do.
too.
It's right there on the thing. He's got peppers in concentric circles.
I couldn't see it. Couldn't see it.
Henry,
My age.
yeah, it is. Put your glasses on, buddy.
You can borrow my bifocals.
All right,
right,
so he goes to get a job in this department store, and he's waiting for them to open, and Estelle Getty shows up. Obviously the fourth hottest Golden Girl.
The sexual chemistry between those two is just off the charts.
There's like a really stupid, visual gag where he gets stuck on the sign touting the 100th anniversary of this department store, and he's swinging back and forth on it. And to get him not to sue, Estelle Getty gives him a job in the store.
Yeah. I thought the first time that his ass created sparks was funny, but the second time, that's comedy gold.
It's at this point, I'd like to say that this movie's very poorly directed. It's just the visual gags are horribly staged. Nothing really works. Why is this movie edited by someone that just bought Final Draft or Final Cut yesterday? And like every scene transition is like a tacky screen grab, like wipe that we've never seen before. Like, we're wiping into a starburst, and now it's a diagonal. It's really bad. It's like, George Lucas if he never went to film school.
I will have you know that the editor in question is the Academy Award nominated editor for Rocky.
Wow.
What else you got? Any other credits?
American Gigolo.
Oh.
Wow.
Moscow on the Hudson, Earth Girls Are Easy, Beaches, Joe versus the Volcano, Edward Scissorhands.
All right, so we
American
got to
Murderer.
blame Gottlieb.
Yeah, I think you do.
Or a
Yeah.
Coke binge, maybe?
Or, I mean, he saw what he was given, and he was like, how the fuck do I edit this garbage? And he was
Right.
like, screen wipes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
My favorite part is when they sped up the camera at one brief point in the sign
That was
sequence.
That was great.
That is the ultimate sign of desperation.
There's a few
Yeah.
of those. There's a few speed ups in this movie.
Yeah.
Who are our other characters? He has a girlfriend named Roxy, and she is working with an Italian guy who's a real Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And,
he is.
Without charm.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. This guy was never nice to me in a Barnes & Noble. So, I mean, this guy's horrible. I don't know what this accent is. I mean, I wrote Italian, but that's an assumption more than anything else.
It's
Yeah.
vague. It's vague Euro. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Much like the bodybuilders in the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a lot to dig into there.
It's kind of a Hard Bodies 2 situation where we're in Greece, but we're not really in Greece. Yeah.
There's nothing I love more than a Hard Bodies 2 situation.
Absolutely. That's why I said it.
If I had a nickel every time I use that expression.
And that actress who played Roxy Shield was also in this director's The Shrimp on the Bobby.
Is that right? She's a Michael Gottlieb regular.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't really have anything like that for the cast of this movie. Usually I can point out when someone was in Gilmore Girls or something.
Right.
But
not this time.
Not this time. Of course, the breakout is meant to be Hollywood, a young, gay, black weirdo.
Are you sure he's gay? He never said he was. I'm on the fence about that.
A lot of movies from this era do shy away from that, though, and Hollywood is talking about railing guys left and right.
Yeah, and they're content with other characters calling him a fairy and stuff like that. Yeah.
Actually, they call him a fairy and a Mary too.
Right.
Yeah, I caught Mary. That's a good one. I'll use that in my real life now.
Yeah. You should know, Dan, for your own TV edification, also that Carol Davis, Roxy, was also in an episode of Sex and the City.
Yeah, she was also in an episode of Angel, but I wasn't going to bring it up. So Hollywood, he's got different fun glasses in every scene, and he's tromping all over this movie. I didn't care for it. I'll be honest.
I think he's better the second time. I think the writing is markedly better at times for the sequel, and I think he benefits from it. I think there's better lines here. Here is just. He's just gay as gay prig, and that's it.
Well, he's also, in the second one, the only returning cast member from the first one. So we've got to give him stuff to do.
There is one more returnee, though.
Oh, there is. And
security guy.
Yeah, he may or may not be playing the same character. He's the guy at the end of Mannequin who's like, once he finds out that like Kim Cattrall was a mannequin that turned out to a real person, he's like trying to bone every mannequin in the shop.
Yeah, he dives into a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
To find somebody.
His lady love.
And when I say pile of garbage, I don't mean just this movie.
Oh, good one. He does find his lady love in Mannequin Two, though. That snarky perfumist.
Yeah, but we're also forgetting a major actor. I'm sure we were going to get to him.
Oh, James Spader.
Yeah.
Nelly. Loved him.
Yeah, I was trying to place, well, it wasn't difficult, where this came in for him, and I guess it's pretty obvious. He had a few movies, but really just like Pretty in Pink, and then after this, he's fine. I think he finds his career footing because he goes on to Less Than Zero, Wall Street, and all that, and Sex, Lies, and Videotape. But up until here, he was probably just. Hey, here's an oily villain. I can play him.
But it's not your regular oily villain. I mean, it's like he's doing a Crispin Glover. It's a real wacky.
I thought of Crispin Glover.
Yeah, and I'm down with that. I'll take a second-rate Crispin Glover. I loved him in this movie. He might be my MVP.
Really?
Yeah.
He is good here, but what I love about him, he has a fake comb-over.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, at this point, he still has hair because he's balding now. But he basically combed his hair way over with the oily look just to make it look like he was kind of balding. But he wasn't then. I think it's very clever.
It's great. It's great. It actually is a pretty stacked cast for 1987. Because, I mean, you got the Pretty in Pink team of Andrew McCarthy and James Spader. You've got Kim Cattrall. You've got me
Shaq Taylor.
Thank you. As Hollywood. There's real actors in this movie. This is a real movie, way more than Mannequin 2 is.
Yeah, you've got also like a Police Academy reunion too, because I'm spoiler, my LVP. But that security guard played by the actor G.W. Bailey.
That's my LVP.
Really?
Yeah, I found him incredibly annoying.
I could not stomach him. And
that's an LVP sweep.
Yeah, it really is. And I kept thinking, like, I actually made the mental effort to think, would this role have been less annoying with somebody else? And I thought, yeah, maybe it could have been. Like, maybe with, like, a Eugene Levy or, like, a John Candy. Might have been more tolerable. But this guy is just, oof. Yeah.
Eugene Levy might have been good. I don't know. Or, like, even, who's the fella from SCTV? Dave Thomas.
Oh, Dave. I thought you were going to say the other one, Joe.
Joe Flaherty.
Joe Flaherty, yeah.
He's a little too meek for this role, I think.
Shit, I would have taken Fred Willard. How about that?
Well, you're just naming Christopher Guest actors now.
Because they all would have worked. Yeah.
So what ends up happening in this movie, gang? Ancient Egyptian Kim Cattrall.
Well, I know we're trashing the movie and it deserves every bit of it, but what I liked is that Andrew McCarthy's character was a loser, had no self-esteem, and was really a kind of a dreamer. And just by meeting her, it changes him. And I think that's the only genuinely redeeming quality of the movie, is that that's kind of sweet. I like that connection between the two of them.
My love affair with Andrew McCarthy stops here, gang. You know how much I loved him in Weekend at Bernie's. One of my favorite performances of all time. And he's amazing. And now, I don't know, all that confidence. I don't like him as a dreamer. I want him as like a confident, fucking layabout. I want him as a slacker. I want him slacking around. This guy, he's got too much get up and go. I wasn't sure about him. And it's weird that he puts together this mannequin. She comes to life. They don't know anything about each other, and he just falls in love with her. And he's still dating that Roxy girl at the time.
Oh,
and
she's rotten to him. She's rotten.
Yeah.
Come on.
She's not rotten until after the mannequin comes to life.
No, she's dismissive the whole way through.
She's willing to drive home with him on that motorcycle.
I would like to point out something. I made a note about Andrew McCarthy that in this and in Weekend at Bernie's, I think he's playing a completely undiagnosed and untreated psychopath. When you think about it, like in Weekend at Bernie's, he's psychotic for all of the things that he does,
Oh, in ignoring the fact that his friend is dead?
Right. And then in this one, he's carrying on a relationship with a mannequin, and anyone seeing this, I mean, so he's kind of got the market cornered on playing psychopaths that aren't supposed to be psychopaths. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, here's my problem with Andrew McCarthy. He acts by running his fingers through his hair a lot.
He does that. Yeah.
And that's like acting school 101. Please
stop.
That's
a real Michael J. Fox move from Family Ties. I remember that a lot. Mallory. Yeah.
I've read that that's often a tell that an actor can't remember his lines.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know that.
I'm interested in that. Watch Mallrats. You see a lot of that from Jeremy London.
I guess McCarthy had a concussion right before shooting then.
Probably.
I don't know, man. So you've got good hands. I liked the way they felt when you were putting me together. That's what I have written here, and that's a creepy line. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. It's a very creepy movie. This is a guy he's a sculptor. He sculpts this mannequin at one of his many jobs, and then he's just bone zoning it the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
another problem I had is this one of those movies where the jokes are so bad that the director has to get those reaction shots of other people laughing, just to kind of remind you that, hey, this was a joke and maybe you might laugh, even though you won't.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of sound effects. It's the kind of movie where if someone falls, you'll hear like a whoop, whoop, whoop.
What was it, Dan? When one of those Halloween movies, right? We had a sound effect like "Wheep." Oh, that was the cops in Halloween 5. Every time they showed up or something.
Oh yeah, it was
A little clarinet burn.
yeah.
And by the way, here's the Washington Post review of the movie. It says it was made by, for, and about dummies.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Good one.
I have a
these
quote
movies
from-
also famously destroyed by Leonard Maltin. I grew up with the Leonard Maltin movie and video guide, and I remember these both had the bomb rating.
Yeah, I grew up with Roger Ebert, and I'm going to quote the opening paragraph quickly and the closing paragraph to his review of Mannequin. Okay? Half a star, and here's the quote. This movie is a real curiosity. It's dead. I don't mean it's bad. A lot of bad movies are fairly throbbing with life. Mannequin is dead. The wake lasts 1.5 hours, and then we can leave the theater. Halfway through, I was ready for someone to lead us in reciting the rosary, end quote. And then the final paragraph quote I like more. Studying the press material for Mannequin, I learned that Michael Gottlieb, the director, got the idea for this movie 5 years ago when he was walking down Fifth Avenue.
Oh, stop it with that shit. That's such garbage.
Can I finish the quote?
Yes.
I learned that Michael Gottlieb, the director, got the idea for this movie 5 years ago when he was walking down Fifth Avenue and thought he saw a mannequin move in the window of Bergdorf Goodman. Just thought you'd like to know. End quote. And end of review.
That never happened. I know that was in like the press materials because they need to have some kind of weird origin story for their shitty movie, but that never happened. I hate stuff like that.
You don't think that happened?
No.
Why is that so hard to believe that happened? That was so easy for me to believe. You think it was some bigger idea that inspired this film?
No, I think it was no idea that inspired this film. I think this film came about because they thought of the a movie called Mannequin, wherein a mannequin comes to life,
Oh, okay.
and they worked backwards.
I'm just reading your Roger Ebert.
This movie's not that bad.
Well, here's the big question. There are a lot of people who love this movie.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong, but it's not that bad.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
It is watchable. I agree. I think a lot of that, though, does have to do, in my opinion, with Kim Cattrall. I think she's very, like, effervescent and happy and, like, enthusiastic. And, like, there's no sign of her being like, oh, my God, I'm in such a piece of shit. Like, she's really just enthusiastic and fun, you know? And I think she's, like, I did definitely notice that any sequence where she was in, I was paying more attention, and they were a little bit more infused with some life. And when
Here's the thing: if you don't think she's good here, go watch Mannequin 2 on the Move and watch Christy Swanson, and you're gonna love Kim Cattrall.
That's right.
I loved Christy Swanson.
Okay. I'm not taking anything away from Christy Swanson, but she's no Kim Cattrall.
So they start putting window displays together in this department store, and they become the talk of New York City. Because New York City is definitely a place where people show up in person to see a window display in a department store.
But of course, they're in Philadelphia, so.
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia. Maybe they do that in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's what made it even weirder.
Yeah, so there's lots of villains in this movie. There's the security guard. There's James Spader. The girlfriend gets more evil as it goes on. She becomes partners with the creepy guy that was sexually harassing her earlier in the movie. He continues to sexually harass her. He says, "Can I show you something in your size?" pointing at his dick. But none of that matters because later she bones him. She tries to bone him, right? He can't get his dick hard.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love trying to explain it to my 8-year-old when we were watching it together.
Oh, boy.
It's okay, honey. It's PG. It's rated PG. It's clean.
Oh, that's your first mistake. A PG rating in the 80s doesn't mean anything, man.
It's game on.
Damn, it sure is.
Because
Yeah,
in this movie, you need that scene. That's really important.
yeah, that's actually a really interesting thing, though, because you could both we can all speak to this. I think Dan and me have talked about this before, if I'm not mistaken. But the rating system really underwent a sea change at a certain point, right, Dan? I mean, a PG movie in 1987 was not what you'd get these days.
Well, it was out of whack. The first PG-13
Right.
movie was Temple of Doom, right?
Right. I think you're right.
No, that was maybe the one that made them change it, but there was one
Yes.
before that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dreamscape comes to mind, but that might not be it either. But yeah, that was the sort of the fault line with the Indiana Jones really made the conversation move to that direction.
Yeah. Is it like Red Dawn or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, but it took them a while to figure out exactly what PG-13 meant. And so there's still a lot of movies in the 80s that probably should have had a PG-13 that are a PG. Whatever, things like The Goonies or something.
Right. Yeah. So.
So
By the way,
what is this? This is a PG movie?
Oh yeah.
It should not be, man. The amount of wood jokes in this movie.
Yeah, I would like to point out that this is not the first movie that we've covered where the score was written by a member of Tangerine Dream.
Is the score written by a member of Tangerine Dream?
Yes, Sylvester LeVay.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't remember what it was, but there was something recent that we had where we were kind of like, wow, go Tangerine Dream, like it was one of the only good parts of the movie.
I've always been a fan of Tangerine Dream, dating back to Manhunter.
They're great. Me and mine dating back to Risky Business, but yeah.
Sure, Risky Biz. There's a Risky Biz reference in this movie, right? Like during that dance sequence, at one point he's dressed like Tom Cruise.
Oh, I didn't. He is?
I think so.
That.
Henry, I'm going to make you really sad right now. I just got a notification on my phone.
What's that?
Malcolm Young from AC/DC has died.
Oh,
no. R.I.P.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How you feeling? What can we do?
That's really sad.
This is a genuine moment of podcast right now.
That's he's my great guitar hero of all time, number one. Wow. I gotta collect myself. I'm sorry that you said that on air.
I wanted to hear this reaction.
Let's go to our sponsor.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, he was
the Hollywood in Toto podcast. The right take on Hollywood, or what is it?
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I know he was battling dementia.
Yeah.
But I was privileged to see him live once, and it was one of the best shows I ever saw. And I love him. He's awesome. Malcolm Young. Oh man, I don't know what to say. We'll just have to move on. I am very distraught. We've announced a lot of deaths on this show, but that's hitting me hard. I'm glad it's amusing Dan so much.
It is. I'm loving it.
You're an asshole.
No, dude, I love AC/DC, but I knew you'd be upset. I'm sorry. I should have saved it.
It's all right. That's very sad.
Gang, a lot of comedy chase scenes in this movie. Henry?
I'm off. I'm done.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Everything's going crazy. No one believes him that Kim Cattrall is a real person, but Estelle Getty catches them on state-of-the-art VHS technology, and everything turns out all right. I don't like comedy chase scenes. I've talked about that a lot on the show. They're never funny, and they're not in this movie either, so you kind of just have to get through that, and then they end up together, and everything's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Could have gone for another fashion montage just because it was Kim Cattrall.
The fashion montage is pretty fun, but there's like a weird clumsy dance sequence mixed in with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I felt about that.
But the fashion sequence in the sequel is unbelievably bad and unimaginative, and I wanted to claw my eyes out while I was watching it.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 outfits, and they just keep cutting between them.
Quick, go to TJ Maxx. We need a 4th.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
You got anything else to say about this movie?
Me, not really. I mean, it's incredibly, amazingly sexist, homophobic, incredibly sexist and homophobic, and
What else you got?
Don't forget hilarious.
Oh right, yeah, it's a knee slapper. Yeah. Having said all that, I'm ready for my MVP, LVP, and star rating.
Yeah. Chris, what's your star rating?
I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm leaning. I know you guys don't do 1.5, so I think 2. I think it's watchable. It's bad, but I have to give a kind of a slight tip of the hat to the fact that it endures in some capacity. So, just from a cultural point of view,
I am also giving it a 2, based on Kim Cattrall's performance, the Starship song, and I think Chris is right. It's pop culture endurance, and it is entirely watchable. It will not be watched by me again, hence the autographed copy being sent out to somebody. Yes.
priceless.
Yeah. Listen, this is a watchable Sunday afternoon movie. You got nothing else going on. You tried to watch the new Transformers. You couldn't get through it. You put on Mannequin. All right?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's a 2-star movie.
Oh, it's across the board.
That's a quote from the poster.
Our LVP, I think we all agreed, was G.W. Bailey.
That's right.
Brutal.
MVP, Chris?
Kim Cattrall.
Me too.
Spader.
Oh, all right.
That's fair.
Yeah, Spade man.
I am a Spade man. Except for season 8 of The Office, of course.
Oh, you don't like him in that?
No.
I liked Robert California.
Get out of here. Get off my show.
I'm about to, because I'm already in mourning.
Oh, Henry. Grow some big balls, and let's do this.
When Joss
Get your
make sure that I get the post first.
Henry.
And just tell you on air.
Henry, put up your stiff upper lip.
Oh,
And
try to cheer me up.
yeah, let's see.
Yep. I gotta get back in black. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's right. Yeah. Consider yourself Brian Johnson.
I think this is a conversation for human resources. Okay, guys.
The franchise lacks a human resources department, in case you haven't noticed.
I'm the human resources department.
Oh, wow. Then we're in real trouble.
I've pointed out every time that you've hit on one of our guests.
Oh,
You get 2 paychecks then, right?
We haven't had a female guest on this podcast yet. We're the Mike Pence of podcasters.
And by the way, I interviewed Kevin Spacey years ago, and the dude did not hit on me, so I feel a little kind of dirty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
you're old.
Man. Yeah,
Can I say my
it's
Kevin
true.
Spacey
It's true.
story?
You were too old. What's your Kevin Spacey story?
I interviewed him. Everything went perfectly fine. No big deal. No trauma. No nothing. He was a perfect gentleman. And about a year or two later, the PR person who arranged the interview, I guess she left her job, and she was, her lips got loose as far as what she, could spill about her work. And she said that when she went to get Spacey for my interview with him, she knocked on the door. She went in, and he had a gentleman caller with him. And he was so pissed that she broke up their moment that he threw his phone at her.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
So I kind of knew his sexual leanings a while back.
Well, anyone who saw Beyond the Sea knew that. But
Or anything.
All
you would
2 of
say.
them?
yeah, all 2 of them. Hey, what movie were you interviewing him about?
Beyond the Sea.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, he was out on his Bobby Darin tour that year where Kevin Spacey went on talk shows singing Bobby Darin songs. God, that was insufferable.
I guess he was cruising. Am I right?
He was posed very theatrically on the couch when I interviewed him.
I bet. Oh boy.
Mannequin 2 on the move. A 4-year wait between Mannequin movies. That is not allowed. Directed by Stuart Raffel. It's got writing credits by him, Edward Rugoff, Michael Gottlieb, David Isaacs, Ken Levine, and Betsy Israel.
Lots of time.
Took an army to make this movie.
Do you know what that director's one of his other credits is?
What's that?
I know what his big writing credit is, but go ahead. Passenger 57.
Oh, Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mac and Me. Yeah, he's made some movies. This guy, Mac and Me. Of course, the McDonald's E.T. ripoff, a classic, and also Tammy and the T-Rex. You know, another great.
Ice Pirates.
Sure. Has he ever made a good movie? Is Mannequin 2 his best movie?
Oh, it might be. I've never seen Ice Pirates. It just looked so awful, even when I was a teenager.
Well, if we go by writing, I guess Passenger 57, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't even know if I saw that.
I did. It's great.
Snipes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Snipes.
What's the Snipes movie where he says "always bet on black"? Is it that one?
Oh,
It's a classic line he has.
Isn't that Demolition Man?
No, it's definitely not Demolition Man.
It's a solo movie. Like he's the star.
Yeah.
It's like a tough guy action movie.
It might be Passenger 57.
Yeah.
Or Murder at 1600, but
It's not that. It's not Murder at 1600.
Always bet on black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is Passenger 57. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Do it. I'm going to assume that you're right about this.
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, Mannequin 2
Right.
released May 17th, 1991. Big summer release. An increased budget of $13 million. A decreased box office of $3.8 million.
Wow.
Mm.
Where'd the budget go? Was it the bodybuilding protein shakes for those guys, or?
I don't know, man. They had a lot of nights and stuff. I don't know. Maybe those scenes in Hauptmann Koenig.
Oh my God. Oh, it was Passenger 57.
Oh.
Cool. Terry Kaiser doesn't work cheap, so yeah, that's part of the budget.
Yeah, that's right.
say.
Weekend at Bernie's reunion in this movie. Terry Kaiser.
And Friday the 13th. I mean, we've covered him a few times now. Yeah.
Oh, actually, Andrew McCarthy's not in this, so it's not a reunion. They passed like ships in the night on this one.
Right.
Yeah.
McCarthy's actually said that he wished he had made Mannequin 2. He regrets that.
I'm glad he's not in it because I think William
here we
Ragsdale is really good.
Here we go. Yeah.
What?
I knew there was going to be some weird opinion on this movie of yours, and that's it.
Yeah.
This guy's a nothing.
No, he's good. Listen, William Ragsdale's still working today. He's a good character actor, and he maybe shouldn't be starring in movies. He can't carry this movie, but he's good. I like him in this.
2 words, Fright Night. I'm sorry.
Fuck yeah, Fright Night. Two more words, Herman's head.
I remember that. Yeah.
He's Herman.
Herman.
He was on Justified. He's on that show Search Party now, which I'm a big fan of.
Right.
Listen, William Ragsdale, he's my man.
All right.
Get with the program. This movie has a good cast, man.
Very good. Hey, Stuart Pankin, come on.
Always like
Get better
him.
than that. I always like him too.
Fatal Attraction, Stuart Pankin.
Not necessarily the news. That's before your time, Dan.
I know of it.
Okay. Got it.
I don't
I
get
had
that
you for a
reference.
second.
I don't get
Really?
that reference. No.
HBO it was sort of a faux news, kind of like the Daily Show way back when.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rich Hall was on there, I think, with Sniglets.
Okay.
All right, I'm an old fuck. Move on, please.
We've also, William Ragsdale's mom is, Paul Reiser's mom from Mad About You. That made me happy. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Henry, no superhero count in Mannequin?
Oh, I'm
Ooh.
sorry. Yes, I do. I have not many, but I do. Two. Kim Cattrall was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk. Ain't that something?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't predict that. We've had a lot of Incredible Hulk people. I didn't think she'd have been on it, but she was. And of course, James Spader is Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What a memorable film.
What, Avengers 2?
Yeah.
I liked
trailer,
it.
The trailer was great, all right?
I liked it at the time, but I can't tell you anything about that movie.
I liked it.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe you'll cry when Joss Whedon dies.
No, you will.
Yeah, I know. That's right. So original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I hope that's on your superhero count for Mannequin 2, Christy Swanson is in this movie.
Right. It's not because she's not, but yeah.
Buffy's a superhero.
Okay. She's on my superhero count, but not for that.
Oh, for playing Christy Boner in Dude, Where's My Car? Sorry.
Nailed it.
Thank you. So we start 1,000 years ago in the town of Hauptmann Koenig. What is this? It sounds like an insurance agency.
Yeah, it does. Or a coffee machine.
Or a law firm. Yeah, or a fucking coffee machine. It's true, man. Hannity defenders are blowing up Hauptmann Koenig's all weekend.
I will point out that my favorite line of Estelle Getty's in the first Mannequin was, "We have to find a way to make this store great again."
I did notice that, yeah.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
That's great. So that store is still in this movie, but Spader's gone, Estelle Getty's gone. All we've got left is that security guard and Hollywood. Oh, but we're not there yet. So yeah, the 1,000 years ago scene was very Princess Bridey to me. It had the dwarf from the Red Room on Twin Peaks, which made me happy.
A lot of that, yeah.
So you got William Ragsdale, Christy Swanson, and the mom from Mad About You all back there playing different characters. Not to mention Terry Kaiser, Count Spretzel.
Everyone has like a Germanic accent except Christy Swanson, which I thought was pretty funny.
Well, because Christy Swanson has to be herself the whole movie. Like, she's still playing the same character as in this opening sequence. So you don't want Christy Swanson doing a bad German accent the entire movie.
Right, and it's forgivable also because, Kim Cattrall didn't have, like, an Egyptian accent, so it's fine.
Yeah, just a reminder that Kim Cattrall was playing an Egyptian in Mannequin.
Yeah. Yes.
Quick reminder.
An Egyptian.
Yeah.
Kim Cattrall originally from England and Canada and United States. So multicultural. Egypt, not one of those cultures.
Yeah, you guys remember the hashtag Mannequin So White? It was huge in '87.
Listen, it was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, man.
Oscar-nominated Mannequin. That
Yeah.
just sounds good.
Yeah,
True.
like Suicide Squad.
You're damn right.
That cuts me till I bleed.
Mhm.
Mannequin being nominated for an Oscar is much more deserving than Suicide Squad.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say that Christy Swanson's not the only actress not doing a Germanic accent in that sequence, because Paul Reiser's mom from Mad About You sounds like a New York Jew, just in Hauptmann Koenig.
True. Very true. Oh, by the way, before we continue, we didn't do our 1991.
Oh,
yeah.
good call. Let's do that.
All right.
And I have to preface mine by saying that I hate my list, and this was awkward and uncomfortable to fill out.
I love mine. Great year.
I'm happy with like half of it. Yeah.
It's no '87.
No, I agree with that.
All right, I'm going to start off 1991. My number 10 is L.A. Story.
Ooh.
Steve Martin, he was trying something.
Yeah. I remember liking that when I was a kid, but not holding up.
It's a weak list that I scrambled.
Yeah.
I'm not defending it.
Number 10 for me is Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country.
That's one of your go-tos when you can't fill out a list, Henry. You pop a Star Trek at number 10.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
It's a seat filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, my number 10 is Homicide.
Excellent choice.
My number 9 is New Jack City.
Oh, another snipe solo joint.
My number 9 is Point Break.
Okay. My number 9 is JFK.
Wow. That's low.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Good year.
Okay. Yeah.
My number 8, and it's partly my Coen love, is Barton Fink. For the classic line, "You're a sick fuck, Fink."
Great movie. It's higher on my list. Yeah.
Me too. Number 8 for me is Homicide.
My number 8 is the young Reese Witherspoon in The Man in the Moon.
I never saw that.
Jeez, me neither.
A great coming-of-age film.
Number 7, Chris?
Boys in the Hood.
Great movie.
Saw it. Yeah. Number 7 for me, Albert Brooks, Defending Your Life.
Ooh, great movie. That should be on my list.
I love it.
My number 7 is Naked Lunch.
Good choice.
Yeah.
My number 6 is one that I absolutely love. I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's hokey at times, but it just you can have a connection with some movies. Grand Canyon.
I always like that. Yeah, I always like that. It is hokey, but I like it too.
It's got a sprawling cast. Steve Martin in a really atypical role, but I really like it. It kind of there's something aspirational about it in a weird way.
I agree. Saw it in the theater. My number 6 is a movie I had vacillated on for years, but then just came to grips with the fact that I like it. Number 6 is Cape Fear.
That's a good movie, man. Not on my list, but I like it.
Yeah.
Because who cares? What? Because the original is such a classic, you feel bad about liking it?
No. It was just, I think when I saw it a long time ago, I was wrestling with the fact that it's Martin Scorsese and it was like one of those kind of filler movies for him, but it really isn't. It's really, really good.
Better than Shutter Island.
Well, I really like Shutter Island, but yes, Cape Fear is excellent.
I just want to say, I referenced Shutter Island. I want to call my shot.
Here we go. Here it comes.
DiCaprio. DiCaprio's next. He's a harasser.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you didn't think he was going to say that, Chris. I
didn't know the subject, but I'm thinking Bill Maher would be next. I think that's
I think Bill Maher is certainly a possibility, but DiCaprio, I'm calling it.
All right.
Well,
maybe not next because we get like 3 a day, but like soon.
Can you define next, please? It's a little bit vague.
Yeah, well, I'm sure one happened during this podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a notification on that. That'll cheer me up a little bit.
I was knee deep in Jeffrey Tambor this morning.
What's that?
I was knee deep in Jeffrey Tambor and Ryan Seacrest this morning.
Oh, I didn't hear about them.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They had something with them too, huh?
Tambor's got a second.
Yeah, Tambor, it seems we may be killing him off of Transparent now.
Oh, boy.
Even though he's the titular Transparent.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, Christopher Plummer would look great in drag, so I think that'll work.
FYI, that would be good.
Okay, where are we? Number 5?
Did you give
6? 6.
I gave 6. Yeah.
Mine is Boys in the Hood.
All right.
My number 5 is Defending Your Life, Albert Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is Bugsy.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
Bugsy.
I should have had that.
Didn't a harasser write that movie? James Toback.
No.
Yeah, right?
I thought Warren Beatty wrote that.
He might have wrote it.
I'm gonna look right now.
Please do.
Listen, I think those 200 women are lying. All right.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Toback wrote that.
Thank you very
Wow.
much.
Good. How the hell did you know that? Good call.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of sexual harassment articles recently.
Jeez.
My number 5 is Barton Fink.
All right.
Excellent. My number 4 is Cape Fear.
There you go.
My number 4 is one of Dan's favorite movies and favorite groups, The Doors.
Oh, get out of here. So are you telling me you're going to have 2 Oliver Stone movies in your top 5?
I didn't say that.
You're going to have JFK on this fucking list.
That's right. He had a good year.
Ugh. The Doors.
Love that movie.
The only good part is when Nico gives him a blowjob in the elevator.
Okay.
Yeah. My number 4 is Jim Jarmusch's Night on Earth.
Oh, fuck off.
Thank you very much.
Fuck off. I'm so glad that was your number 4. Oh,
Great movie.
yeah. So glad. All right.
My number 3 is Beauty and the Beast. And
Oh, good call.
Wow.
it's a really good movie.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Totally
I
is.
haven't seen it in 30 years. Okay. All right. My number 3 is Barton Fink.
My number 3 is Richard Linklater's Slacker.
Oh, all right.
I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen that. I know that's a bit of a crime against humanity, but
I saw that in Dan's box of videos.
Yeah.
my number 2 is T2, Terminator Judgment Day.
Wow. All right.
Thanks for the full
I mean,
title.
I'm an action guy. That's perfect action. I got to call it like I see it.
Cameron
Mine are-
knows what the people want.
He does.
Give
My
me
number-
Avatar 6 or give me death.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna call a shot.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
Oh,
Guaranteed.
I think it's a great one. I love it.
Dunk.
He's coming down.
Yeah.
You're coming down, James Cameron. Yep. My number 2 movie of 1991, I'm predicting is going to be Chris's number 1, but I'm not sure. But my number 2 movie of 1991 is The Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Dan?
My number 2 is Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho.
Hate that movie.
It's a great movie. I'll tell you, it's a better Criterion release than broadcast news.
My number 1 has already been spoken. Silence of the Lambs.
I knew it.
I love that movie. I remember in the theater, just being that last scene when she's got the night vision goggles on and she's hunting the bad guy. I was riveted, unlike I've been in quite a while.
It's unbelievable, that movie. Fantastic. R.I.P. Jonathan Demme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 1 movie of 1991 is JFK.
That's crazy. Silence of the Lambs is the best movie of 1991.
I could flip that. That's a flippable situation for me. I'm not steadfast in that choice.
Listen, this is one of the few cases where the Oscars got it right. You know, they
Yeah.
they nominated everybody, and they were all deserving.
Yeah.
And also, it's a genre film, a horror movie. I mean, how often did they even get nominated, let alone win?
It's a classy horror movie, though. It's got a butterfly on the cover.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can we cover The Silence of the Hams someday? Remember that movie?
Stuart Pankin is in that, so sure.
Okay. All right, where were we in Mannequin 2?
Who fucking knows?
Okay,
Terry
so
Kaiser.
so they turn Christy Swanson into a mannequin, 1,000 years ago, and she's with a necklace. It's a magical enchanted necklace, and she's sort of worshipped from afar for 1,000 years. But Hauptmann Koenig becomes a sad place where it's always raining. And then this department store, I mean, the plot makes no sense. The department store in Philadelphia from the first movie, they're, for some fucking reason, organizing a banquet with leaders from Hauptmann Koenig, and the, quote, cream of Philadelphia society is going to come. I'd like to know what that looks like.
I think I could take a guess. One of the cream of the crop who would be there for that, Adrian. I mean, why wouldn't he be invited to that? I'm just saying, right? I mean.
When they say the cream of Philadelphia, are they referring to the cream cheese?
Either way, yeah.
Can I call my shot? Rocky
yeah.
Balboa.
No, it's already been called.
I know. Well, no, I was calling the fictional.
Really?
I was calling the fictional character, but yes, Sylvester
Oh,
Stallone is a molester.
Well, he was pretty handsy on Adrian in the first movie, so.
Oh, he flat out raped Adrian. Yes,
Covered that. So
he pulled a real fucking. Oh God, what's Harrison Ford's character in Blade Runner?
Eckhart?
Yeah, Deckard. Yeah, they both raped their lady loves.
I didn't know about Stallone. Boy, you guys weren't kidding. It's impossible to keep up.
I'm keeping up, baby.
Wow. Oof.
These guys shouldn't have kept up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's it's a problem. Listen, Hollywood. And I'm not talking about Hollywood. I'm now talking about Meshach Taylor. He's trolling around Philadelphia in that hot pink convertible. He's sort of the Angeline of Philadelphia. Some people get that reference. Aren't they making a movie about Angeline now, Chris? Have you read about that?
I have not, no.
Yeah, I think based on that Hollywood Reporter article from a few months ago. Anyway, there's perfumes and security that they're like sort of, we want them to get together, right? Perfume girl and security guy.
Oh, yeah, that's the real love story.
Yeah. They're sort of a poor man's Annie Potts and Rick Moranis.
Yeah. Oh, good call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meshach Taylor was such a hit in that first movie that he's playing multiple roles in this thing.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah.
When you get that raw talent, you got to put it to use.
Yeah. So he's unrecognizable as like a doorman at a club.
That's when it occurred to me that the sunglasses all along were in preparation for him to be wearing it like a mask, so we would have no idea who it was when he took them off.
I was annoyed he wore the same sunglasses throughout this movie because he changed them in every scene of the last one.
Didn't he change? Oh, okay. All I remember in the second one is the scissors. Is that all he wore?
Yeah, that's his sunglasses.
He was different every time. Also, they almost doubled the budget, and they couldn't afford a fourth dress or more sunglasses for Hollywood.
It's true. But I will say the effect of the mannequin turning into the lady was better.
Yeah.
That being said, they could have bought more mannequins because it was clearly the same mannequin. She was always like her hands were in the same position every time she turned back into a mannequin. And in the last one, they'd have Cattrall like whatever she was doing when she turned back into the mannequin, like the mannequin was doing.
I don't know if I agree with that. The special effects for that change were better. I mean, all they did was just throw some wavy lines in front of you.
Hey, those wavy lines convinced me.
Yeah. All right.
So Swanson, she's been not around for 1,000 years, whereas Cattrall was like coming back to life every so often and living a life. So
She was a little more with it, yeah.
She was hip and cool, whereas Swanson doesn't know anything about what's going on in society. She calls a car like a fast-moving wagon or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and she tries to eat the paper on her Philadelphia cheesecake. I mean, steak. Sorry.
What are your guys' feelings on Christy Swanson in general?
She didn't grow up great. I mean, in terms of acting, I'm not like, objectifying her like this movie does, but once I feel like she never really developed as an actor. But I like her a lot in these early '90s performances. I think she's a pretty fucking good Buffy, even though I prefer Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, that movie must be a big deal for you, no?
Well, the TV show's a bigger deal for me. I saw the movie in theaters, but it was because it was my birthday. And I went to the movies on my birthday every year. My sister bullied me that year. She was a huge 90210 fan, and Luke Perry was in the Buffy movie. So she pulled me aside on the morning of my birthday like a dick and whispered in my ear, "You better tell Mom that you want to see Buffy the Vampire Slayer."
And you were 6.
I was 5 or 6, yeah. And I did it. I went to go see Buffy. I liked it enough, but I never rewatched it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Until I was super into the show, so I went back and revisited the movie.
My movie for her was always, I guess, because it was on TV a lot. I always know her from that Charlie Sheen movie, The Chase.
Yeah.
Speaking of another one.
I have to say, I'm not super familiar with her work after this. I thought she was just very basic here. Like, she was cast because she was a pretty face, and she didn't bring much more to it than that. I didn't like her that much. I mean, she wasn't bad. She didn't sink the movie. The movie kind of sinks itself. But
right.
To me, with Kim Cattrall, I think, oh, she's really pretty, and she's got a little bit of spark to her, and I didn't get that here.
I think she's got a little bit of spark, and I think she can handle the comedy of it.
Yeah.
I think she has good comic timing. She mostly did comedies in the 90s. She was in Hot Shots and Buffy or whatever. And I think if anything, like she would have been a good funny friend to a female lead. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give her a bad haircut and put some glasses on her.
I think that's right. Yeah. But she's maybe too pretty for that. She's caught in between.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I like about when we first meet Hollywood again is that if he wasn't stereotypically gay enough, now he's a choreographer. So I thought they kind of upped the game on that one.
Also, they're giving him all the credit for the success of this department store.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened to Andrew McCarthy? Did Andrew McCarthy retire in disgrace and claim that Hollywood did all of his work?
It certainly seems like that, which is a perfect segue into my question to both of you. Hollywood never acknowledges that any of the prior events have happened. So
Not true. This
he
film
does it twice.
Yeah.
What does he say?
This movie has continuity. When Andrew Ragoff is like, "I know it's hard to believe, but she's a mannequin come to life," Hollywood is like, "That's old hat. Like, of course that's true. I believe you." And it's because he's been through this shit.
I remember that. I remember that, but yeah.
Yeah. And then there was something else later on where he said, like, "Oh, it's not again," or "It's happened before." It definitely acknowledges. I was specifically looking if they were just going to retell the story without even acknowledging the fact that Hollywood has seen this, which is kind of the elephant in the room.
Subtle. Yeah. Okay. All right. Can we talk about Terry, the visual gag?
Yeah, okay. So Terry Kaiser is like the diplomat or whatever, the count from Houtman Koenig, who is visiting this department store with his 3 bodybuilding whatevers. They're basically Hans and Franz. Hans and Franz was huge. We've seen a lot of Hans and Franz influences in movies from around this time.
Yeah, we brought this up a while ago. I don't remember which movie, but yeah, it was like clearly, going on. Yeah.
Well, here's something that I didn't realize when I was watching the movie, and I'm kind of embarrassed by it. I did read, and I don't know if it's confirmed, that they dubbed in the voices of those 3 goon actors. They called them the goons.
Oh.
And I didn't – usually that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because they were hired because they were muscular, but they weren't hired because they could act. They couldn't act, which is not a big surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you guys notice any vocal change?
No, Stuart Raffle did a great job.
He's the Peter Jackson of kind of working with
ADR, yeah.
Which brings me to the direction in this movie, which was so bad.
I think it's better.
I disagree. It made me write a note I wrote down, you have to place the camera, set the camera, focus the camera, aim it, point it, and keep it steady. And none of those things seem to happen in any given scene. I mean, it literally just looks like it was just kind of, there was a camera on set and someone got behind it and just shot what was happening, and it's following some people sometimes, and then it loses some people in the background. I mean,
I totally disagree. I think the choreography in this movie, maybe thanks to Hollywood, is better than in the first one.
I thought as dumb as the story is here, and it's extremely stupid, I thought it felt more realistic than the first movie. I mean, I think even the pre-story, the whole backstory behind why she became a mannequin, was more credible. I mean, the first movie was, oh, I'm Egyptian, someone's going to make me turn into. It was just unbelievably stupid.
I also cared more. I cared more about William Ragsdale and Christy Swanson ending up together.
Oh, no way. No way.
I'm not there. I think the chemistry between McCarthy and Cattrall was a little better.
I disagree.
Yeah. Okay. Fervent disagreement on Mannequin 2, On the Move, love chemistry.
That's right. And by the way, this whole setup is total fish out of water, where she doesn't know what's going on. She's in this new city. They don't even use that. They make like she eats the paper on the sandwich and that's it.
Yeah,
it's like that's the easiest slam dunk trope in comedy, and they just discard it because they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have taken her to the Rodin Museum or something. He seems like a cultured guy.
He's not an artist the way that Andrew McCarthy was. All right?
That's a good point.
Ragsdale, he's a bit of a basic bitch.
Yep.
But, I like him.
I have a quote here I wrote down in my notes. It says, "Stranger things have happened." That might have been one of the lines that Hollywood said, I think. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Probably.
I remember it because I thought of Stranger Things.
We get in a reprise of Chris being back on our show. We have to have a character with a wart that stands out.
You're right. Oh my God, I forgot all about Fred Savage.
So when Chris comes back, we're gonna have to make sure that whatever franchise has a character with something like that. Maybe
Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
We could cover the race reversal sitcom. Right. Yeah. Listen, don't even joke, because Mannequin 2 On the Move, serious movie. There are life and death stakes in this film.
They're shooting arrows at each other.
Terry Kaiser is trying to kill William Ragsdale.
True.
Yeah.
True.
There's guns. And
it's our first hot air balloon sequence since Superman 2, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. The hot air balloon sequence.
Yeah, involving Dan's favorite movie villain, Otis.
Oh, fucking Otis. Otis sucks. I'll tell you what, I'll take Terry Kaiser in a Superman movie as this character over Otis.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you got to live Otis just for that theme song. Boom, 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 boom.
I know. It's just a walking fart noise, that character.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
That's fair. It's a Superman movie. But not that I want Superman movies to be too serious, because then we get your piece of shit, Man of Steel.
Right. Or too self-reverential, and we get your piece of shit, Superman Returns.
Thank you. Okay, enough of that. Listen, Terry Kaiser, he's playing with that mole hair like he's, that ninja from Kill Bill Volume 2. And so the thing all culminates in a big presentation that Hollywood is putting together, and Hollywood comes out and raps during this. It's really embarrassing.
Oh man,
it is a bummer. And
my name is Hollywood, and I'm here to say.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm here to rap. Yeah, my name is Hollywood, and I'm here to say I'm ready to rap in a Hauptmann Koenig way. No. It's ridiculous. So, Stuart Pankin actually ends up getting shot in this sequence, which is crazy. It's too much. In a silly movie like this, the stakes shouldn't be so high.
There's people bleeding in this movie.
Yeah.
In the nose.
He's bleeding in the nose. He gets shot in the knee in which he inexplicably explains he had knee surgery on when he's trying to go to a dating service by Ragsdale's mom.
Yeah.
I was lost. Yeah.
William Ragsdale gets cut in the face.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there's blood. We cut to Stuart Pankin post being shot a couple times, and like Pankin's too good an actor. Like he's kind of selling the fact that he's just been shot, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
And by the way, one thing we haven't mentioned, I know there was a 4-year gap between the two films. In those 4 years, shoulder pads gone. And I think that's a great thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All the really bad, hardcore 80s fashion, gone.
But also, all the interest in Mannequin is gone.
Vanished.
Disappeared.
What else you got, gang?
The Nexus. I got nothing. I'm good. What do you got, Chris?
I expected this was going to be unwatchable, and it's not good, but it was watchable.
Not to me. I'm going to disagree there. I'm going to give it. I'm a hard no.
No, watchable. Absolutely watchable.
And I don't know whether my expectations were just so rock bottom that I was girding myself, but I thought there was, and especially the beginning. I think the movie just loses everything midway through and never recovers. But I thought the beginning there was a story. There were a couple of cute dialogue pieces. It wasn't a disaster.
Agreed. I was into it for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's more than
But
me.
then I didn't care, so I was out.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you give it?
Chris?
I got to give it a 2. I got to be consistent. I think I feel like there are other much better 2 movies, but I think I'm going to go with 2.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 1.
Me too. I gotta go 1, but it wasn't the total disaster I was expecting it to be. It's definitely better than a lot of our 1 movies, like Hard Bodies 2.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
It's a very solid one.
The solid.
Yeah, it's a strong one.
Strong one.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time we've ever said that.
Yeah.
It's a strong 1.
This might be the best 1-star movie we've watched.
My MVP was based on the closing credits. I'll say that
What's that?
because I got to hear that Starship song.
So you're gonna give it to Starship?
Yeah, they got my MVP.
Okay. I'm gonna go with William Ragsdale.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go with Meshach Taylor. I think he's better in this movie, and I think I think sort of the homophobic lines mostly go away, and I think he's the hero. I think he's. I know he's a flaming stereotype, but he's actually portrayed in a very positive fashion. He saves the day. He gets the hero out of jail. I think it's all good.
All right.
And it made me forget about that scene with the hose in the first movie, which I thought was maybe one of the worst comic scenes in the history of film.
Hose?
Yeah,
Remember these
fire
hosing down the
hose.
bad guys, the security
hose.
guards or whatever? It went on for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah,
It was so unfunny.
it's true.
It's been on
Although-
forever.
It was like
Yeah.
fucking Kent State.
Although my original MVP was the hairy mole, but I think I'm going to go with Meshach.
Fair.
Who's your LVP?
Chris?
I'm going with the goons, those three bodybuilder guys.
Yeah, they suck. They should have just gotten like famous wrestlers of the day. Wouldn't it have been more interesting if it was like Randy Savage and Kurt Hennig or something?
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Who's your LVP, Dan?
I'm gonna go with Meshach Taylor. I don't know, man. I got sick of him in this one. He's given more to do, but I think that's partly a problem. It's like if you were super into Perfect Strangers and then all of a sudden they wrote out Larry and the whole show was Balky. I wouldn't be as into it.
Or you take the Minions as a supporting cast and you make a movie. Oh, wait. No.
Yeah, good point. We'll be covering that, Henry.
Oh.
Can't wait. My LVP is going to be Terry Kaiser. I couldn't take him. He's one of those guys. I like him. I think he's like probably a good actor, and I feel like he's trying, but every time he's on screen, which is a lot, he's just terrible. Not as terrible as my LVP in the first one, G.W. Bailey. But he's pretty bad. So
I think he's a good actor, really stuck in a terrible role.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have a superhero count.
Please give me it.
It's three.
Christy Swanson, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Also, she played the heroine
In The Phantom.
Yep. Diana Palmer in one of your favorite actors, Billy Zane's The Phantom.
Anyone call him?
Ooh, Billy Zane. He's smug and weird. It's possible.
How about Kilmer? Val Kilmer?
I think no. I think anybody that has called themselves a method actor over the years is a possibility for this. Leto's got to be getting it soon.
Yeah. Terry Kaiser, who we've covered before, played H.G. Wells in an episode of Lois and Clark.
Right. We talked at length about that episode.
That's right. And then Stuart Pankin was in 3 animated cartoons, playing 3 nobodies, but he was in 2 Batman cartoons and a Superman cartoon. So there you go, lending his, I guess, inimitable voice.
Henry, I have a superhero count here.
What's that?
This is from a listener named Joshua Lemur.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, are we in mail right now?
Well, he says you forgot to do a superhero count for Soldier. Soldier, you might recall, the second of the 3 Blade Runner films. Right. So he has done a superhero count for Soldier.
Good.
He says there are 8. You ready?
I'm ready.
Kurt Russell was Ego the Living Planet in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He's also in Sky High, if that counts. Jason Isaacs played Ra's al Ghul in the animated film Batman Under the Red Hood, and Lex Luthor in the animated film Justice League Gods and Monsters. Connie Nielsen was the person who played Wonder Woman's mother Hippolyta in the film Wonder Woman, not Robin Wright Penn, as Daniel previously believed. Sean Pertwee is currently appearing as Not Your Daddy's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, in the current Fox TV show Gotham. K.K. Dodds appeared as Simpkins, Norman Osborn's secretary, in the original 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. Corbin Blue, the young child, was also the young child in Mystery Men. Michael Chiklis appeared in a small role in Soldier. He was, of course, the Thing in the Fantastic Four movies, and also currently plays the chief of police, who may or may not turn out to be Bane in the current series Gotham. And finally, Elizabeth Dennehy, Brian Dennehy's daughter, appeared in Soldier, as well as in the Will Smith movie Hancock, in the esteemed role of Rail Crossing Crowd number 2.